Okay, we're not gonna walk the dog today, but we are gonna play in the yard a little and work on this fence, or at least the boundary. See, the western boundary is up, but it's gonna need to be backed with this welded wire. So that's a little bit further along down the process because we want brick columns at that end, that corner, a brick mailbox built around those two, and a brick column here. And this is gonna be the gate, front gate. This wall here is mostly gonna be for like vines and plants, and I think I'm doing some kind of vertical gardening over it. At least that's what I would like to do, but the future of this property is not really certain, so really don't know exactly. I'm not going to be doing anything major for now. There is the possibility that we could be selling, and if we sell, I'm going to sell it just as it is right now. No more work on my end, and that's a story for another day. Today we got Jax out in front, and he is eagerly trying to get Kevin's dog's attention. Jax, quiet. See how well he listens? But overall, there's a lot that needs to be done here. This deck is completely done. Goldie basically destroyed it because she'd be tethered to it and she'd charge at squirrels like a cannonball. Suddenly she'd take off and nearly try to take the deck with her. Garden beds are holding up over the last few years. I just started to turn them and pull the straw back. We've got some really dark, nutrient-dense stuff. Look at all that goodness here. All this good black organic material for growing in. Nothing got harvested from last year. There was some peppers and zucchinis and squashes and tomatoes and peppers and stuff that got planted, and they were never picked. That gardening season was abandoned in the middle of it. It got started late anyways. I left everything in the beds so I could just basically use it as compost. So we still have rooted plants here in these garden beds. So I might actually just start sowing some seeds into this. I don't really know what I'm doing, but I'm gonna give it a go. I'm fasting for Lent with about 1 billion other Catholics. I don't know how many others have taken it to the level that I've decided to take it, but I've given up meat and sugar and social media, nicotine, caffeine, alcohol, obviously. I wasn't much of a smoker before anyways, but we're avoiding basically generally anything that's not good for me. Anything that's like acts like a dopamine trigger in my brain. I had to come off all my psychiatric medications. I didn't have to, but I chose to. And it's funny how that all played out because I was talking a bunch of shit last year about how I was gonna have my 45th birthday 100% free of all mood-altering drugs, and whether I liked it or not, that's exactly how that turned out. I was even off testosterone, which is unusual for me. Typically, I'm on TRT level doses, but I had ran a cycle in November, and then my package didn't arrive. So as of right now, I'm completely off everything. All mood-altering drugs, including testosterone. There are no psychiatric meds, no Adderall, Vyvanse, Wellbutrin, no antidepressants, nothing like that. I am taking my Prazosin still, and that works great for my blood pressure. But I'm trying a new ADHD med, a non-stimulant medication after doing some research, and then I got a new med provider because my med provider is retiring after a medical leave I don't expect her to ever come back from. And I'm trying a new drug called Viloxazine. The brand name is Qelbree, starts with a Q. Non-stimulant ADHD medication. It's a norepinephrine reuptake inhibitor. So I'm kind of excited to see how that goes, to take that medication as prescribed. We're doing a little tour around the property here, so that Jack's cut out. We might take him for a walk a little bit later. The training is always on pause for better days because it doesn't seem like we can't really get to a stable place that he can be trained, but he's so eager to be trained, and it's just amazing how quickly he responds. He spent a week over at his Uncle Derek's house, or not a week, but like 4 or 5 days, and Derek was able to get him to jump right back into obedience. He was pretty good with it. He just really just needs direction, consistent direction, and he'll do whatever you train him to do. Hey, a noisy boy, huh? Why don't you be quiet? You get yourself all wound up in that. Look, you're tangled up here. Come on. Let's go this way. Let's go this way. It's this way. This way. Come on. Come on, Jack. Come on. This way. Good boy. Good boy. See? So he'll do it if Daddy does it. We got to pick up our gate here, buddy. That's not going to work. So this is a different let's walk the dog update. We're not quite walking the dog. We're just going to play with him. And since I'm taking a break from social media for Lent, I guess I'll make an exception for YouTube. I'm watching that. That's all I ever watch anyways is YouTube. So I'm not exactly abstaining from YouTube. But everything else is on pause. All the online dating, anything like that. Kind of stepping back from a lot of that kind of thing. Got some matches on Hinge the other night that are pretty interesting, but I don't know, you know, more or less Lent is a time for self-sacrifice and cultivating humility in your life and bringing yourself closer to God by a little bit of a self-attrition. Put your stuff on hold and focus on that conscious contact, and that's what I'm doing. I've been to more AA meetings in the last week than I have been all year. Sometimes 2 a day, and that's really unusual for me. I've never been a 2 a day, 2 meetings in a day kind of guy, but I am right now. And so I think that's turning out pretty good for me, and I'm happy about that. I'll keep some daily vlogs going here, some dog walks. I got a little close up on the Jeep here. Check this out. So this guy in a green Cadillac, he literally saw me coming, and I'm going like 30 miles an hour because it's 30 everywhere here. So I'm coming, and he waits till I get like just a few feet away from him, and he pulls right out. He just pulls right out in front of me. And his old green Cadillac didn't have a ding, a mark on it or nothing. My Jeep, however, took a pretty big hit. So I've replaced my headlight so I don't have to mess with only a single headlight. But this whole assembly is gonna get pulled out and replaced. And I really have been kind of just waiting to go to the scrapyard to replace all that stuff. I wanted to replace the bumper with a utility bumper anyway, so maybe I'll weld up something and fab up something cool for it, because this guy is my project. So besides probably not even going to be messing with the property this year, I'll be messing with the Jeep, because I want to get some little custom mods going for my Jeep experience. So now I'm fully Colorado. I got my 4x4. And who knows, I'll just load up the dog, throw everything in the back, and take off to the mountains. And wouldn't that be nice, right? We'll see. So that wraps up today's Let's Walk the Dog. We'll walk the dog again tomorrow. On this beautiful Sunday, first Sunday of Lent. God bless.